Let's talk about a witch for a second. What is a
Yeah.
witch?
Do you know what? I love that you've asked this because I've come up with a couple of little acronyms, but my favorite one is a woman in total control of herself. That's what I am. I'm a witch. And if that scares you, good. I'm powerful. If it empowers you, good. I want you to feel like a witch too. I want you to feel like you are in total control of yourself, whether that's your power, whether that's your emotions, whether that's your life. You could have anything going on in your life. So long as you're in control of yourself, it doesn't matter what else goes on.
All right. Hello and welcome to another incredible episode of Spill the Tea with Kirsty and Bo. Today we have a special guest. Her name is Monique and she has the business Green Witch Guide. And before we go into Monique, you won't even believe what has just happened. So the Green Witch.
You as my witness.
I literally am just like sitting here and I'm like, I don't know if I'm ready to do this podcast. So last week, me and Monique actually started this podcast and it cut off. Like she was telling me a story about something and it literally cut off. And I was like, whoa, that's so weird. Anyway, then 2 days later, something big happened in her life and she's like, it makes sense now. It makes sense why. And then we just get onto this now before I even push record. And she was like, and I was like, what? What just happened? The door swung open in her house. And then she just said, oh my God, close. And then it slammed. And I was like, what the fuck is going on? So anyway, welcome to the podcast, Monique. OMG. I am like fucking scared for this.
What a welcome. I don't mean to scare you, but honestly, the energy is high. The energy is high.
Fucking mind blown. Like, I'm just like, where do I even go from here? Like, I'm just like sitting here going, no, she didn't. Literally, she said, door closed, slammed. I was like, oh my God, I can't. So,
and it'll
welcome.
stay like that now. We'll be cool. We won't hear it fly open anymore.
All right. That was it. Thank you very much. Oh my God. Okay, well, let's just get into this. Tell us a little bit about you. Tell us about you. Tell us.
Okay. I'm Monique and I am a witch. As you saw, I mean,
firsthand, I just seen.
They definitely think we come with green skin and pointy hats. I tell you, it took a long time to cover it all up today. No, I'm kidding. I'm a regular person, but I have a long history, a deep heritage, and I have a fascination with modern science, magic, and all that kind of stuff. So I want to bring it back to the world. That's my mission. That's why I'm here.
Well, I absolutely love it. So before we get into this, like, who are you? What's your past like? How did you even discover this style, this type of technique, this witch? So, because we do think, like, we think witch, we think scary, like, we watch all the, the cartoons and the movies and all that kind of stuff. And so where did you come from for this even be a thing?
So, like a lot of people, I was curious in exactly that. Movie witches and story witches and things like that. Love dressing up as one for Halloween. But there was also a deeper thing going on. I was a kid who had night terrors, and I was a kid who saw things and felt things and just knew things and didn't know how to explain that. A lot of people were scared by it, including me, and a few things going on in my household growing up definitely kind of added to the negative feeling around it. There wasn't necessarily violence, but there was a lot of stress and there was a lot of things put on me as a child that, no child should ever have to know. So I definitely had to grow up pretty quickly. And in doing that, I shut all my magic away. Like when we grow up, we stop playing with mud pies and stop making fairy rings and all that. And I did. I let it dim my light a little bit growing up and entering the adult world. I ended up in an abusive relationship and I had my daughter, my eldest, at 18. So I really did have to grow up pretty quickly and deal with some heavy stuff at a young age. But what it did for me as well was give me a bit of a drive, a bit of
Mhm.
a this can't be everything. I don't want this. I don't want this for my daughter. I put up with things for myself for a long time. When
Mhm.
I had my daughter, she became my why. She was my extra motivation to be like, nah, this isn't it. I can't do this. I got to get out. So I did.
Yeah.
And really proud of myself for doing that because I definitely started changing my life from that point.
What was happening? What was the heavy stuff? What was going on in your life before you made that decision?
So we definitely dealt with drugs and we
Mhm.
dealt with physical abuse. And we really had a toxic relationship. It did stem a lot from my ex's past, but also I did grow up seeing my parents not in a typical love situation where there was toxic talk between them and there was toxic behaviors. So I understood that as that's how people are. That's relationships and that's just what you do. I
Yeah.
was also told, that they only kind of stuck around together until I became old enough to move on out. And that for me gave me a bit of a burden, a bit of a responsibility like, oh God, they stuck through it just for me. And I wouldn't want to give my daughter that guilt, that same feeling that I had. And it's
Mm,
nothing that they put on me on purpose.
for
It's
sure.
just something they honestly thought they were doing the best at the time. They really did.
Yes. Yeah.
And so they didn't understand the impact it would have. I didn't understand the impact it would have, but
Mm.
we saw it play out in real time. And I'm really lucky that I was able to have that kind of awareness and go, no, this isn't normal. I can see other people in other relationships showing love, showing affection, and not talking toxically. And when I love on my daughter, I don't want to speak to her that way. I don't want to do those things to her. So I can feel what real love is. And I'm going to go find that for myself. So
Wow.
that's where it really did turn for me, was definitely using my love for my daughter
Yes.
as my motivation.
I think they come totally at the right time, very similar to what it was like when I had Carson. I couldn't leave him for me, but the moment I realized like he was in danger and I didn't want that for him, I was out. And I
Hmm.
think like, that's where, even when you go into like, coaching containers or religion, whatever it is, you're trying to draw strength from something else because you
That's
don't
it.
have the strength for yourself at that time.
That's exactly it. So
Mm.
that's what kind of led me into my whole spirituality path later on down the line.
Yeah.
But going back a little bit before I go too far, I actually did meet my current husband, ooh. My husband, I
I
met
love
my
it.
husband.
Wait, that's the funniest thing ever, current. Yes. Okay.
I know. Back then when I came out of it, and we actually connected over trauma. He was
Mm.
going through absolute shit. He was addicted to alcohol, had been addicted to drugs, had been raised in a heavily, heavily religious household. And he had his own traumas that he was dealing with, and I'd come along with mine. So we were two cyclones that kind of just got together and made an absolute tornado together. It
Yeah.
was real crazy, powerful, full of energy type of love, but a lot of it was built off of a toxic bond. So
Yes.
it's taken a long time for us to do the ups and downs that come with any marriage, but ours is very unique because I am who I am and he's come from where he's come from.
Isn't that really interesting? It's almost like the rebellious of both.
Most
Um,
definitely.
yeah, it's like a fuck you to both sides right here. Unconsciously, but magnetically connected through that to have like religion on one side so strong and witch on the other side, which goes
Yes,
completely well and truly like you are at total opposites of this.
100%. And
And so
so
how
everyone
was that
does.
like? How was that like when you were first together then? What was that like? Like, was there any
So
talks out there?
when we first got together, he was fresh out of it and was really against, all of that stuff because it had really put a bitter taste in his mouth and
Mm.
had told him that so long as you pray to God at the end of the night, you can do this, 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 and the other thing, and it's all forgiven. Whereas the people you did this, and the other thing to were sat there kind of like, I think it's me you should be talking this out with, not just the one up above, And so,
Wow, that's interesting. That is a very interesting part of religion. And
mhm,
especially like, Christianity and all of that kind of like Christian, Catholic, all of that side of things. My son said very similar stuff to me recently. He's gone down this God path
mhm,
and, his partner, she's very religious. And I'm like, but how can you be saying this when you do that? And he's like, yeah, but God would forgive me for that. I said, so hang on a minute. So let me understand this. In your head, you can say, do, and be whatever you want as long as you
mhm,
apologize at the end of the night. And I'm like, this is wild for me. And it's not that I'm not a believer of God. It's that like, I'm not a not believer. I do have a Bible. I have, I was brought up in a Catholic school as well. We had all of that around me. So I'm baptized, like
mhm.
I'm actually baptized. And I do believe definitely in a higher power. And like definitely if I go down this road, there has been times that I have asked to see if God was real and there has been shown of God being real.
Goosebumps,
So
goosebumps.
that is 100%. It's not that I'm not a believer at all, but what my thing is that I do believe in spirituality as well.
Mhm.
And on the other side, you're told on religion that you can't believe in spirituality because that's apart from the devil. And so
That's it.
I don't believe that. Like I don't believe that. I believe that you can have
I
both. I believe,
100% agree with you. And that's
yeah,
why I really, really wanted to take the journey that I'm taking. I love history and I love learning about, what did my family do before Christianity was even a thing? Because if we look
yes,
at the timeline of the world, there are so many religions and there's there's always something that people turn to look to. And so I also 100% believe that there is a greater beyond, something up there. But my true belief is as well is we get the gifts we're given for a reason. And
yes,
I think that finding an excuse in prayer isn't the right way to go. I think there's power in prayer for sure.
yes,
Having
yeah. I've got
intention in your
goosebumps from
words.
that.
Me
Yes,
too. I,
yeah,
I think just having pure intentions and, you know, leading with love and leading with light, but also accepting that you only see light when there is shadow, when there is darkness, that it's
yes,
not evil. You
yeah,
need the dark to see the light, yin and yang.
yes,
And so many
100%.
different religions have their own versions of it.
Mhm.
And that's why I went down the path I did, because I wanted to find out how I could still be me and still believe in what I believe in.
Beautiful. And what was the first moment of like a holy shit, like this is real for me, like going into that, becoming a witch, like all of the things that you think of, like what was like a like, whoa, this shit's real. Like I'm going all in now.
Yeah, so 2025, it's been my year. And I just
Wow.
decided in January that I was like, do you know what? I'm going to start listening to some of these dreams because they're not all bad. Then some of them are really cool. So, I mean, what if I actually just listen to them? And it actually started with me seeing myself in a room, lights around, lights on us, and I'm with you of all people. And I message you and I'm like, hey, Queen, I see myself on stage with you. I don't know how it's going to happen. I don't know when it's going to happen, but I'm putting it out there to the universe. And I mean, can I just say,
Wild. Like absolutely wild. And for everyone listening, there's a crazier story before we even get to this part that that Monique actually came. So first of all, she came in and she was doing a breathwork session with Bo. Was the breathwork before or after Bleed the Label?
before?
Before. Okay. So she came in, and the craziest thing here is that she did a breathwork session with Bo in a group one, and this was in a random music room. Like, oh my God, we have stories. And this was at a random someone else's house at a music room. I think we had like maybe 10 or 12 people in this session.
It was
And
small.
it was, yeah, and it was just such a small group, and this was when Bo was like, it was the first couple of months of us doing this before we even went on Australian tour. And
Mm-hmm.
it was this girl. I was not a big fan of breathwork at this time. I was just trying to support my partner's dreams and all this kind of stuff. And all these things were coming up for me. And then there's you going through your session with the biggest smile on your face. And I'll never forget it. It was like the Joker smile. It was that big. And Bo was like looking at you and he was like, oh, look at her. And through all of this trauma that was on this floor was this woman projecting bright light. It was a very insanely credible part to watch. And I'll never forget that. I can still vividly see the smile. And it's funny because here you are 3 or 4 years later here. But then you came and you did that session, and then you came and was a model for us. We Believe the Label. And I don't even know if I'd put two to two together on that day either. And then, so you did this modeling of that, and that was amazing. And then you joined We.T.C.H. Now, we have put some stuff out, and I actually thought when you joined We.T.C.H, I thought that you were somebody else. And it wasn't until that you had messaged me after you had joined, and because I just looked at your name, your two names were very, very similar to someone else that I knew. And I was sitting there, and then you messaged me on Instagram, and I clicked on your profile, and I was like, oh my God, this is not who I thought was in We.T.C.H. And I said to Bo, and the thing is, Bo even said to me, I didn't think it was, but because you said it was, I just presumed that's who it was. And I said, oh my God, like, no, it's the fucking chick that did Bleed the Label. And then it was like everything just went bang, 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 bang. And to see you here in this space today of walking through all of those different walks. And I remember you messaging me saying, I had this dream. I don't know how this looks. And in my mind, I was like, well, we're not doing any events this year. I don't even know if I even responded to it. Like I remember seeing it. I remember being in it. But I mean, I get a million messages a day. So I think I probably just
100%.
liked it. Yeah. And then for you now to be in here, in this world, and watching you go through your moments and expand and actually own your truth. And then we had our Perth catch up, a few weeks ago. And
So good.
you so good. And like, you sit there and you're like, am I too much for this? Am I too much for that? The connections you made there, the connections with Jason, my best mate, like all of these things are now he's gone in instant, like all of these instant things. And this is when, like, when you find your people, you truly find your people, because Monique, you showed up as you. You didn't pretend to be someone you're not. You were just all of you.
That's it. And the power of masking yourself is exactly the story you just told. Is I was able to pop up in so many different scenarios, and I allowed myself to be hidden from the world, even though I was putting myself out there, because deep down, I didn't know who the hell I was. I was always just masking it, always masking it. I was like, am I a model? Am I a, woo-woo spiritualist? Am I religious? Am I just a mum? Am I just a gardener? And I was like, no, who am I? Who am I?
Yes.
And
Yeah.
so that is really what sparked my journey. I wanted to know where my family came from, what my bloodline is like. And it really did spark the question of what happened to them after religion was imposed on them, after they were told, you can't do this. That scares me. Stop it. And, you know, on a more serious level as well, what happened to that generational trauma of us being suppressed for a long time and even punished and killed for what we did and what we believed in. So, of course, me today, even though we're not in medieval times and we're not in Victorian era, I still carried that burden that my ancestors had of don't be too loud, don't do too much, don't show them your powers because you're going to scare someone and you're going to get hurt. You're going to get ridiculed. You're going to get
Yeah.
judged.
You judge. You're weird. You're not going to fit in. You're not going to.
Hmm.
You don't. Where's your place? If you're
That's
not
it.
living by society. And I think another thing, the reason why I truly believe that you've come to a great success is because in here everyone is just so individually themselves, and
Yes.
there is no judgment. There is just like, fuck, you're a witch. Like, wow,
So
cool.
cool.
Like, that's so cool. Like, and I love
Yeah.
that. So let's talk about a witch for a second. What is a
Yeah.
witch? Because we all think a witch is like we just said, like we see on TV, we watch like, the witch programs and the movies, and she's on like a broomstick and what's it called?
Hmm.
Wizard of Oz and all of that kind of stuff. So
That's
what
it.
what is a witch?
Do you know what? I love that you've asked this because I've come up with a couple of little acronyms, but my favorite one is a woman in total control of herself. That's what I
Mhm.
am. I'm a
Wow.
woman in total control of myself. I'm a witch. And if that scares you, good. I'm powerful. If it empowers you, good. I want you to feel like a witch too. I want you to feel like you are in total control of yourself, whether that's your power, whether that's your emotions, whether that's
Yes.
your life. You could have anything going on in your life. So long as you're in control of yourself,
Yeah.
it doesn't matter what else goes on. And
Yes.
honestly, We Breathe Success has been the big drive behind why I go down the route I've gone down. Because regulating myself and being in control of myself has helped me lift that mask, has helped me step into my power, and it's helped me get through some really, really tough times that last year would have taken me out of this world.
Yes.
100% would have. This
Yeah.
time, I'm going through it like, okay, burn me, do what you want. Watch me walk through the flames, babe. Here I
But like
come.
even how you show up in the community when you're like, posting about what you're going through, the love for
Mm,
you is just there. So you're being able to be your true self and be held through your own shit
yes,
and not crucified for that.
that's it.
And then that allows you like, oh, it's okay for me to feel this, like, because when you're going into this, like, you're going against the norm. Like, that's what we do. We're leaders in this space. We're leaders for a reason. You're given the hard path because it's not easy to be a leader. And I think
That's
that
it.
that's the biggest thing is people don't understand, like, we have to consistently make hard decisions. Back in
Hmm.
2022, like, we got slandered and I had to be a leader in that space. And I knew that I'd become the leader and the voice for other people to actually own their own truth. And that when someone else trying to pull them down, we're like, who the fuck do you think you are? Listen to them. Like,
That's it.
that's not your truth. That's their truth. Why would you allow that breathwork facilitator or that Reiki healer or that energy healer or that other practitioner to install their beliefs, which is only insecurity and jealousy,
A
trying
hundred
to keep
percent.
you small? Like, why would you allow that? And once you sit there and you say this to someone like, oh shit, like, I don't know. I don't know why I allowed that. And then they get their balls back and they put it in with their vagina flaps or whatever you want to call
That's
it.
it.
And then we just get back up and we do the thing. I'm like, oh my God, yes, I'm not going to allow this for anyone else to take me off my path.
That's exactly right. And I fully believe that's why women like me were punished back in the day, because women in power is fucking scary. It
Yes.
scares people because we are on a whole new level. We really are. And when we get together and when we empower other people, not just other women, but other people,
Mm,
we have that nurturing vibe. We have the power to, spread love in a way where it's not hippie and it's not
yep.
woo woo. It's real.
Yeah, and you have strengths. The thing is, the woman actually has it all. And I think that's really where, like, in society, they wanted to keep women small because she was
Mhm.
so powerful. At first it was like, the woman was at home and she cooked and she cleaned and she looked after the house and she was a mom. And the guy went to work and he got praised for doing literally the bare fucking minimum. Going to work and making some money, probably having a great time, having conversations with other adults, and where the
Yep.
woman was stuck at home, bringing up the kids, cooking and cleaning for the man and praising the man. And then shit started to change. And I remember when I had Harvey, I was like, men are weak and da this and da that. Blah. And then I went, it's actually not that at all. Men have stayed exactly the same.
Mhm.
They haven't evolved and changed. Women, women all of a sudden, they're making their own money. They're buying their own houses. They're raising the family. They're cooking the dinners. All of a
That's it.
sudden, they're doing masculine and feminine roles.
That's right.
And then we're canceling out the man. That's what's happening.
It's one thing to have a business or even the best product or service, but let's be real, when no-face Jackie32 jumps on Instagram throwing those nasty comments and you make it mean something about you, it doesn't matter how good your business is, you will crumble. That's why you need us.
Welcome to We Breathe Success, the ultimate experience for aspiring business owners, entrepreneurs, and coaches who are ready to break through to the next level.
Hi, I'm Kirsty Waddingham.
And I'm Bo Drury.
We're not just any mindset business mentorship, we are the world's best when it comes to mindset, breakthrough, and transformation.
Our approach combines breakthrough breathwork, powerful mindset techniques, manifestation, and strategic business coaching, setting you up for each week for success and action.
If you're truly serious about unlocking explosive growth, you're in the right place.
Success starts with one essential foundation, your mindset. Without it, even the best business strategies will fall apart.
That's why we go deeper than traditional coaching. We offer advanced biohacking and mindset reprogramming.
Your network is your net worth, and now you have access to ours. With all of this, success isn't just a possibility, it's your only option.
We're here to help you break through your old limits, step into extraordinary success, and create unstoppable momentum for growth. We cover it all: mindset, somatic strategy, community, and connection.
So are you ready to be the leader, visionary, and powerhouse that you were meant to be? Click the link below. Let's book a call.
Yes, and it scares them when we show them we don't need them. But that's not to say that we never wanted you. And I think they take that as a personal projection. When we can stand strong on our own 2 feet, their own insecurities come out of, but you need me. You need to
Yeah.
lean on me. And a lot of people don't understand that a real solid relationship is people walking side by side together. It's not
Yes.
someone following the other person. It's
Yeah.
not one person catching up. It's side by side. That's
Yes.
how it really, really works. But
That's
yes,
that's
women
that's
in
beautiful.
power, it is scary in the best way
Mm,
possible. I think
100%.
so.
And like now, because how long have you been with your current husband for? How long?
14 years.
14 years. Okay. And so to go through 14 years, that's a lot of work. That takes work. And this is, to go ins and outs, you're both growing and evolving, you both still have trauma that you're going through and you're healing and stuff like
Yeah.
that. Being in this day and age, 2025, how truly owning your truth, how has your family received or taken that? I mean, your kids, your friends, family, your partner, how's that been? What does that look like?
So at first, it was my biggest fear to come out. I was let's say, in the broom closet with it. And I was a little secret witch. I was quick, put the candles out before they get home. I was don't wear too many crystals and don't put them around the house and keep it all close and in. And then I was, okay, I'll wear a couple of crystals out here and there. And then I realized a lot of other people do it. And I realized how much it's through my mum's house, through my dad's house. And it's been here all along. Okay, I'll let it trickle into my house. And I started teaching my girls about our ancestors and magic from our past. They got so into it, and they are so powerful. Oh my gosh, even scares me.
Yeah.
But my biggest holdback was my husband, was the fact that he was raised so religious that what I was embarking on was his ultimate trigger.
Yeah.
And ultimately, it did trigger him.
Mm-hmm.
And so I've been working with myself still, just going with the flow and understanding that it's not me. This isn't a me issue.
Yes. Yeah.
I'm allowed to keep being me because this is
Yes.
who I have been all along.
Yeah.
And the main thing I have been doing through all of this is healing. I know that a lot of people like to go for the aesthetic witchy type, and 100% love that for them. But I really do claim wit as a woman in total control of herself. I make sure that I'm regulated. I make sure that when I want to work with spirit, I do. I make sure that I have fun when I want to have fun, that I self-care, and that I pass those tools on to my children just as much as teaching them how to mix herbs and pick the right candle color and what crystal means and all that stuff. So when it comes to my husband and the things that are being stirred up for him, I can understand why he's going through what he's going through. And because I have the tools I have now, after being with We Breathe Success and having that inner power,
Mhm.
I've been able to sit back in this situation and understand that it's not me, I'm not evil, that it's exactly what we talked about. When women come into power and when we show that we can be strong and independent, doesn't mean that we're crazy, doesn't mean that we're evil. It means we're powerful. And sometimes it does
Yes.
scare people. It really does. So I'm going through a bit of a what's going on in my marriage. And I had to make some big decisions. Do I dim my light and be subservient and go with the flow to appease someone else? Or do I say, I really fucking love you, but I gotta love myself a bit more now? And I
Yeah.
choose me. I choose
Yes.
me. And I know that the person who's meant to be with me and love me is going to choose me and themselves as well. And it doesn't
Yeah.
matter what costume I come in, doesn't matter what color my skin is, whether it's green or, you know, it doesn't
Yeah.
matter how I present myself. It's really a strong foundation within myself to know that I'm me, I'm strong. Now that my mask is off, no one's putting it back on. No one's putting
Yes.
me back in the broom closet. I'm out
Yes.
and
Love
I'm
that.
free.
What a beautiful, and I've just been like, I've been saying this, the WITCH acronym, woman in total control of herself. Um, well done. I really like that. And I think it's almost a reframe of also what does witch actually mean. And
Mhm.
so on that, if someone came to you, what kind of session would they experience? Like what would you be doing with them?
Well, that's where I like to bring out my other little witchy acronym. And I'm a woman who initiates connected healing. So
Mm,
what happens is when you come to a session with me, we catch up. we talk about what's going on and we figure out what you might want to check out, whether that's hypnotherapy, whether that's breath work, whether that's spell work, whether that's, you're questioning your religion. Can I do this stuff because I believe in this stuff? And I am your perfect little mixed magic guide to let you know that you can take this path, you can take this path, and I want to connect you with the right people. It might be me, might be you, it might be some of the other awesome people we have in our community, might be someone else. But I feel like when you come in for a session with me, we use real intuition, real connection. We find out what really is going to work for you. We take out a lot of the guesswork.
Yeah.
I have to be a little bit careful with my words here. But for example, if you were to go to a doctor to get a referral for muscle pain, you might go see a physiotherapist, or you might go see a remedial massage therapist. For me, I'm a little bit of a cross between worlds. Definitely not a doctor. I am a witch. And if you come to me, I'm that person who can be like, I really recommend breath work, hypnotherapy. And I think this person would connect with you like this.
Yeah.
Or I think you would do really well with going down this path and teaching people what you know. And I think I can connect you with the perfect container to put yourself in for
So
that.
you're like the connector. You're like the
I'm the little
connector.
bridge.
Yeah, the bridge. Yeah,
Bridge
I love
between
this.
worlds.
I love this. And do you do any you touched on that a second ago around like potions and stuff. Like what give me an idea, like what kind of potion could you make? Let's say someone's got a broken heart. Like what would happen there? Like heartbreak.
Oh, heartbreak. Do you know, love is always the top one I get asked for. And so much of the time it comes from within.
Of
When
course.
someone is hurting over someone else, I give them something to empower themselves. So I love special ingredients like rose petals and pink candle wax and lavender. I love crystals like rose quartz and rhodonite. But with magic, with spells, with prayer, with manifestation, everything comes from within. It's all the power of the mind.
Yeah.
So what I do is I teach you that your mind is the meat and the potatoes.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
we're just sprinkling some herbs on it. We're just adding
Yeah.
some seasoning. We're just spicing it up a little bit. We're making it fun. We're making it creative. We're doing it in a way that it might amplify your intentions. Every
Yeah.
time you add a rose petal, you might think of this feeling and let it go. Every time you sprinkle on this herb, you might be sprinkling away certain feelings. It's all intention.
Yeah.
So, what I do is I just give people exactly something to put their hands on, create, and have a visual for all the intentions, all the love, all the feelings that they already have within them. And it gives them that power. When they see that their spells work, that their potions work, that this works, we can turn it around and say, it was all you.
Yes.
It was all
Yeah.
you.
Yeah. It
And
was already
people,
inside of you.
yeah, that's it. People think that I'm a witch who does it all for you.
Yeah,
And
no.
I'm a little bit of the opposite. And that does cause controversy in the spiritual
Mm.
community.
Mm-hmm.
Because there's a lot of rules there too. Just like religion, there's a lot of rules in the spiritual community as well.
Yes.
So I've created a way where you can not worry about appropriating something or doing something wrong or living in full damnation for doing something else. We are doing things the mixed magic way, and that's my way.
Yeah, I love that. And I feel like, that again, it's true empowerment of what you're doing, women that is empowering each other and actually installing that back in. And, I used to hate it and I still see, that people call themselves healers. And I'm like, you're not a fucking healer. Everyone is their own healer. Like, people used to come up to me and be like, thank you so much. You saved my life. No, you saved your life. You saved your life. the end of the day, if you had not shown up, if you had not listened, if you hadn't done the work, I don't have special powers. I didn't make you breathe. I didn't make you think. I didn't make you draw things. I may have facilitated in the environment and gave you a place to feel safe enough to express. Yes.
Mhm.
I may have prompted some questions to help you elevate what was already inside of you. Yes. But I did not heal you. And I think in this world, people want you to want them forever. I don't
Yes.
want you to want me forever. I want to help you so much that you are so installed in your own empowerment that then you go and help someone else. And then there's a trickle
100%.
effect. There's a trickle effect. It's like, how many people come to our breathwork events, do our breathwork, and then all of a sudden they're like, holy shit, I want to be a breathwork coach. Of course you do. Because you just found the one thing that helped you. You're now going to go and help other people. My whole mission in life, my legacy that I always wanted to leave was I wanted to leave the world better than I had arrived in it. I wanted the people to be emotionally pain-free and living a life that they loved. And I can't do that alone. I have to have millions of
There's a
people
lot
to
of
do
people
that.
in the world.
Yes,
We got
yeah.
to reach everyone.
You got to reach everyone. And in order to do that, you have to be the solution for someone else. And then you go out there and you go and help 10 people. And then those 10 people help 10 people. And then that's where we change. That's where we have that solution.
That's the real magic. That's the
That's
actual real magic.
that's the real
Coming from a
magic.
witch who can close doors while sitting
Oh,
down and
I cannot believe that
manifest
happened.
things and cut out servers. I've done some things, and I'm the first person to tell you it all starts in you. It all
Yeah.
starts in you. I'm not the one doing it. I'm the one facilitating you doing
Yes,
it.
100%. So, question then, you have been in and out of the world, obviously seeing us from afar. What
Mhm.
made you join Brave Success? Why then? What happened for you to join us? Why?
It was the world. It was the universe. It was another one of those moments where I just listened to the smallest sign. And the smallest sign for me is the biggest one now. I think I actually shared it in the group. I'll go back and I'll find the photo. But I commented on one of Bo's posts and he jumped on in the inbox, sent me the voice message, classic Bo style. And I was like, yeah, actually, this might be something I need. I honestly was just looking for a breathwork session or something like that. And he was like, let me tell you about what we are doing here. And I was like, okay. I was at work at the time and there's these beehives behind me and they are painted up by a local primary school and all the kids have put all this beautiful artwork on them and their names on them. On this one beehive, there's this one kid's name, no other names around it, and it's Bo.
No,
And I'll send you the photo proof, but it just says Bo. And I took a little selfie of me there with
you're
it.
like, wait, show me a sign, show me a sign. Turn around, Bo.
Literally his name just right there. How much of a sign do you want? Also, because universe knows that if it's a little sign, I'll ignore it. So I have to sometimes get a spiritual slap in the face.
Love it.
Yes. So it was
Mhm.
just, Bo, you can't miss this one. And I was literally having a voice notes back and forth with him. And I was like, yeah, umming and ahhing between it. I thought on it overnight and I just went, do you know what? Stuff it. I'm going to do it. So I did it. I was really
Yeah.
worried. I was really scared. And I'll be honest, I put all my fears and worries in a jar and I stuck them in the freezer.
I love it. I love that. It's like our fuck it
like,
bucket. We have the fuck it bucket, and you're like, yep, put it in there, get rid of it.
yeah, I put a hex on my own insecurities and I was just like, no. And I did it. And it was one of those moments where Bo was like, don't worry about it. The how will come later. And I have not one day questioned where the how will come from because it's already sorted itself out.
Well, let's just talk about that for a second. So let's just talk about after you did the money manifestation work that we did that day. Explain what happened after that. And you went from messaging me going, hey, the payment's gonna be late, this is what's going on. And then we did that money reprogramming.
We
What
did.
happened? What happened to you after that?
Well, in it, actually, again, I shut servers down on my own end. My end, cut out, gone. But I was just like, whoa, something shifted. And all of a sudden, it was green light go. It was getting yes on this. It was getting yes on that. It was accepting that I don't have these blocks anymore. And the moment I did, I think it was 20,500 and something odd dollars, Australian dollars, not rupiah,
Yeah.
dollars,
Dollars.
was in my account like that. And no,
Wild.
it's not just it came out of nowhere. I applied for things, I worked for things, but because I had that in the back of my mind that, yep, they're going to say yes. Yep,
Mhm.
they're going to do that. Yep, they're going to pay me for that now. And then they did. They
Yeah.
said yes. They did that. They paid me for that. It was green, 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 ding, ding, ding. And I was like, oh my God, I need to do this every week. Hey, oh my
Yeah.
gosh.
And in that, because we did that money road program, what was your belief system before we did that? Because you had a very strong money block, a money system that was helping you to not get money. What was that
Mhm.
money block that you had before we shifted it that day?
Money would make me a target.
Mm.
It had made, well,
Yeah.
I had thought it would make me a target because of things that had happened in the past. And
Yes.
so that was my own programming going,
Yep.
okay, when you get money, this person's going to take it away.
Yeah. It's a
So
target. I'm gonna
it was
get
just
her.
easier to not have it.
Someone's gonna come get me. I'm gonna get her. Who's gonna want something from me? And so this is a very interesting conversation because this is why we do this work. Because at the end of the day, I could give you the marketing strategy, the sales funnels, all that kind of stuff. But if you don't feel safe in having money, and money, the unconscious programming is, I'm a target when I have money. Well, no matter marketing strategy or sales funnel is gonna, you're not going to hold it. You are going to push it away. You will say no to opportunities. You will self-sabotage. And this is how it shows up. And this is the very, very
Mhm.
reason why we are you first, business second, because it doesn't matter about the strategy. I could give anyone the strategy. But if you don't feel safe in having money, you will push it away every single time. You will not show up for that opportunity. You will say no. You will put things in your way because you need to feel safe. And that's our ultimate role in life, is to always feel safe.
Yeah, 100%. And even just going from a different perspective of not even having past things that have happened to me trigger it, I'm concocting things in my head because of how people might judge me, how we are constantly told that people who facilitate healing and people in our industry shouldn't charge and this
Yes.
should be free for everyone. And how can you make money off of helping people? And it
Isn't
really
that
did
wild? Isn't
give
it
a
wild?
mindset where I was like, should I be doing missionary work doing
Yeah.
this? Like, and
Yep.
again, religion comes in
Mhm.
where, yep, you're
Yes.
expected to do missionary work before you're allowed to move
Yep.
on in, make money in society and all that stuff. So I even enforced that on myself. I was like, no, don't charge anyone for anything. But it really downplayed my credibility as well. The moment I was like, actually, I'm fucking powerful and I deserve an energy exchange. And in
Yes.
2025, energy exchange is money, baby.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
Mhm.
So I want to
And
be able to help more
and what
people and I need
why
more money to do that.
100%, and why would you not ask for money for your time and service? Like that
Exactly.
time helping someone else is time away from your kids. It's time
Hmm.
away from your husband. It's
Hmm.
time away from your life. So why would we be giving that away for free? Because time is our biggest currency.
Hmm.
And when people realize that, like, I'm 41, and I said that with my son yesterday, and we were talking about things, and I was like, I could possibly only have 40 years or even less. That's a very scary reminder that you
Yes.
might only have 40 years. Like, I could have already lived half my life. And yet we sit in this place where, like, I can't touch that. I can't do that. Like, time is your biggest currency. My
Oh,
time is
yeah.
worth more than anything. If you were sitting in that hospital bed fighting for your life. All you want is more time. No money could have paid for that. You just want time. Time is the currency.
My brother, he's passed away, but thanks to M, another star in our group, I've
Yes.
learned you got to listen when it comes in, and he's backing up right now. And he actually had a heart attack at 34, and he's saying the exact same thing. If he knew as a teenager that he was already halfway done,
Yeah.
things would have been a lot different. But you can't
Yep.
go back. And so you've got to use that. You have to use that. And I'm actually 32. I'm coming up to my brother's age when he passed away. So that's, now that I talk about it, been an unconscious drive.
Yes.
Now that I voice it, I realize, wow, yeah, I'm getting close to his age and I want to live my life. I don't want to wait around because you never know when it's going to be the last day. You don't.
100%. You don't. And that's why we need to like literally live our life on our terms. Like it's so, so important. What do you
Yes.
think has been one of your biggest challenges or struggles that you've had to overcome to be who you are today?
Oh my goodness. It has definitely been my mindset. It has been everything I've let other people project onto me. It's been everything I have been projecting out into the world. And it's the mask I put over myself and didn't want to take off because it was so much easier to just observe the world and not be observed. It was so much easier to perceive the world and not
Yeah.
be perceived. So my biggest challenge that I had to overcome was me, my mind, my mindset. And people think it's your mindset, your business. 100% it is. But when you want to figure out who you are, what you want to do, where you are in life, what is your purpose? I think the age-old question a lot of people ask is, what is the meaning of life? What is
Yeah.
purpose? And we all need answers. And
The
that was
pursuit of
my biggest
happiness.
holdback was I didn't need answers for everything, but I wanted them. Once I
Yeah.
realized that I could just be me, lift the mask, be cool, don't project, don't receive projections, then I've been able to open doors, close doors. I've been able to do all sorts of things that I never thought I could. And it all came down to my own mindset.
Love that. And I couldn't agree more. Like, I mean, I preach it through and through. What kind of success do you think that you've had so far from joining We Brew Success?
I think a lot of people would label money as success, where 100% that is. But for me, it's been the results. So I wouldn't have cared if it was $20,000 or $20. For me, it was the fact that I could unblock it and let it out. The biggest thing I take away and the biggest success I have is I can navigate potential divorce. I can navigate being a gardener, a witch, a mum, a wife, a bad bitch, all in one, and still be able to rock it. And, I cry. I have my bad days. I have my moments. But the fact that I'm still here, that I'm still going, and that I'm even more me than I was yesterday, than I was 10 minutes ago, than I was 10 years ago, it's huge. It's priceless, priceless. You couldn't put a number on that.
That's, 100%. And that is so incredible and so beautiful. And just to see, watch you unfold, watch you, be held and release, but also watch you have now the tools to navigate any aspect of your life. And that's all I would ever want for someone is that, like you're not going to have, just because you're in self-development and just because even if you made millions of dollars doesn't exempt you from having shitty days or bad things happening to you or someone saying some shitty things or like your best friend doing something you never thought possible or your partner. It's
That's it.
how you handle it. It's how are you going to navigate that? what are the tools that you've got so that you don't crumble because you're so fine with you, you're so centered inside of you, your self-worth is not attached to your work, to your money, to another person, because you're good with you. And that's the biggest thing. That's why we advocate so much for you. Do you
Yeah.
first, you know?
Yeah. I think it's really important. It's been a huge tool in my household, considering we are all neurodivergent. I don't like to lead with that a lot of the time. It is a big part of our story, but I feel like a lot of people then put you in a different light. And I love to see people see me function and do what I do first. And then when I drop the, autism, ADHD, they go, huh? What?
Yeah.
And I go, oh, yeah, just add that to the list of things that's going on up here, girl, because I can deal with it all.
Yeah.
I can breathe through it all. I can do it all.
I love that. And so for you, what would be one message or tip that you could leave everyone today that's listening? It's one thing you'd like to tell them.
Oh, it would definitely be to take that mask off. It really would be. It's take the mask off. It's get out of the broom closet, because it is so much fun out here. It's so much more fun. It's so
I
much
love
more
that.
fun. Yeah.
Awesome.
Don't stay in there. It's boring. There's
Yes.
cobwebs.
It's
None of your
cold.
friends are in there.
Yes.
It's not fun. Come
Yeah.
out. Come out here, because we love you and you will find your community. Your vibe 100% attracts your tribe.
Yes.
Do you. Take the
And
mask off. Step
And
out
the
of the broom.
mask that they've got on, they don't even like the people that are hanging out with them. They're wondering why they're getting the same shitty friends, same shitty relationships. Because, girl, take the fucking mask off then for
Take it
you.
off. You don't like it
Yeah.
there, so stop hanging around.
Love that. Awesome. Thank you so much for today. Like, and it's been so
You're so
enlightening.
welcome.
And like to know, your story and your beliefs on, witch and all the things and the potions and the crystals and I think just you bring such a beautiful spin to something that is so unfamiliar and unknown to a lot of people. So thank you
Yeah.
so much
Thank
for spending the
you.
time. Love this. All
Thank
right, guys.
you.
Well, that is another episode of Spill the Tea with Kirsty and Bo. I will have all of Monique's credentials down here so you can go and follow her on Instagram, have a conversation with her. If you want to know anything, even on the lines of what she does, her work, and how she can also help you and be the connection to your next, evolution of you, please reach out to her. All of her information will be there. Other than that, like, share, and tell everyone about it. See you later,
Yes,
guys.
thank you.
Thanks.
Bye.
Bye.